Hey guys, gonna wait for people to come in and then we'll get started. Let's see. How should we do this? Don't have a good setup right now. Give me 1 second. That works. All right. Let me know who's here. It's been a long time. Oh my goodness. Ugh, sitting on jewelry. Hey. Oh man, guys, it's been a minute. How are you all doing? Hello. All right, and if you have any questions, I'm great. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the chat and we could get to your questions as well. So I'm really excited. It's been a long time, so I'm kind of out of the loop on, oh, yeah, you have questions. Let's talk. Hi guys, I'm excited too. It's been a long time since I've done a live. It's been since what, June? Let's see how long it's been. You guys have not been updated. I've been so busy. I haven't even had time to breathe. So when was the last time I did a live? And let's see where we left off, because a lot has changed. I'm doing different things, getting different results. So 2 months ago, goodness gracious. Aw, thank you. Yeah, so when I did Instagram audits, I wonder what I was making at that based on what you choose, based on what you choose the jewelry mod. Can you say that again? Based on what you choose? I don't think I understand the question. Talk about how to label, name the products in your store. Do you come up with them with yourself or from the? So okay, so say this is a rope chain, right? So a lot of chains have names. So for this is a Cuban, right? So I will say I've called this the Cassie rope chain, basically. So all of my designs, and this is me personally, I name my designs after my friends and my customers, and my customers love it. They're like, oh my god, you're naming a design after me. So I do little things to get brand loyalty. So I've named products after my customers. I've named products after my friends. I've named products after my sister. But in the product label, so since this is called a rope chain, I'll say the Cassie rope chain. This is a Cuban. This one's just an affirmation Cuban. But let me see. So this is what you call a Figaro chain, but this is the Brie chain, right? So I will, in the product description or in the title, I will say that it's a Figaro, but this is called the Brie. So it's whatever you want to do, honestly. I kind of do that for my my followers and my friends, but you can call it whatever you want. It's your business. Let's see, what else do we get? Oh, what are your references while choosing your jewelry? Choosing your models of jewelry. What are your references? While choosing your jewelry, So I don't know if you have my ebook, but when you first start, you want to have your customer in mind. So because I know who my customer is, I choose my inventory based off of my customer. So I know where my customer shops. I know what kind of music my customer listens to. I know my customer so well that when I go and start sourcing for products, I already have in mind what type of products my customer wears. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to. I hope I've answered your question. Choosing your models of jewelry. And then I don't really have models per se. My followers send me pictures and I just use their pictures because I'm really big on social proof. So like if your Instagram like has like a bunch of people with your products, basically, then that means you have social proof. People actually buy your products and I just repost them. So I've never like I've never paid for like professional models. I just use what my followers have sent me. Sometimes I use my friends to model my jewelry. Sometimes I model my jewelry. But as far as references when choosing jewelry, I know my girl so well. I know what she wears. I know what she likes. So that's how I choose my jewelry and that's how I've been able to sell out. So I hope that answers your question. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, so I think we're caught up. Okay, oh, awesome. So what are we talking about? So we are catching up. I'm not sure where we left off. A few months ago, I think the last live we did Instagram audits. So let me go to last month. Oh, okay. So let me catch you guys up with the legal stuff as far as protecting your business. So I hired a lawyer. And basically I didn't feel like paying her for what we could legally do. So if you guys were not familiar, there's a girl who had my ring design. So this design, this band basically. So last year in November, I designed these rings and I put affirmations on them. And this is actually the first ring that I ever got. So working with my manufacturer, I knew that I wanted a thick band. I knew the dimensions. I gave them the dimensions and everything. And I proceeded and I created my my business with affirmation rings. And so there was a young lady. She's reached out to me before. She's had questions about my rings. And then in July, I guess she started her business. And then my followers and people were starting to say, hey, you know, there's a girl out there selling the same exact ring, but she put a different font on it, but it's basically your ring. And I was like, what? So I DM'd her because she had talked to me before and she didn't respond. So then my boyfriend and my sister, they're like, yo, like, you stole her rings. And she basically said, blame Alibaba. And I'm like, blame Alibaba? Like, no, I'm blaming you. But long story short, what lawyers can do for you is if you have a quote that you want trademarked, or if you have so basically they said it's really hard to sue for intellectual property. My rings were intellectual property. So what I decided to do is go another route that you guys can do. And there are people in China. If you are working with Alibaba, there are people in China that will represent you. They'll be your representation on your behalf that will work with your manufacturer to make sure none of your intellectual property goes out. So I'm right now scratch the lawyer. I'm working with a marketing firm who works with people over in China who build relationships with your manufacturer to make sure your designs do not go out. So because I'm not exactly sure. So with her, okay, so what you can do if you're worried about it, but I wouldn't be worried about it at this point, guys. You can copyright your pictures, but who wants to do that? Like, I don't want to, I would rather spend my money on the bigger picture and working with someone in China to make sure that the vendors don't sell your designs than for me to like go after these little things. It's just not worth it. So overall, so now the marketing firm has someone to work for me on my behalf to work with my vendor. That's where we are. I'm just going to take that as a learning lesson. Her attitude about business is not going to get her far. And she said that people have already come after her about stealing their jewelry. Like, her mindset, just nothing that I should be fighting over. So that's that. I'm not worried about it. I know that a lot of you all had questions about it because you didn't want anyone to come after you all. And so I don't think that it's something that you guys should worry about. If you are buying stock product, then you probably are good to go. I would not steal people's designs. Do not do that. But if you guys are buying stock product, you guys should be fine. And I know that a lot of you all said that it made you nervous to start because you didn't want to like steal other people's stuff. But it's not common. So I was talking to a few other jewelers, like no one's ever gotten in trouble for stealing other people's designs, but this was blatant. Like, this was a blatant copy, but I'm not going to worry about her. I trust God, so that's the end of that. But there are people in China who will represent you to and they will work with your vendors to make sure if you have a design that is selling out, that the vendor will not sell your design. So there is hope. There is a way of doing it. So just know, and if you want to email me, then I can get a little bit more information for you, but I don't even have to deal with that. I have someone taking care of that My marketing people are taking care of that. But if you are selling out and your designs are doing well and you want to keep it in-house, there are people who will represent you in China. They will build the relationship with that manufacturer to make sure that your designs do not get out. And so that's the approach that I'm taking now. So that's just an update. I don't want you guys to be fearful because everything will work out. So, all right, let's see. Can you give me the best advice as a beginner? Want to start this month? Best advice for a beginner. I have so many videos, guys. My best advice is don't like have just you want to, before you even start, you have to have a certain person that you're marketing to. And when I'm saying marketing, I'm not talking about paid ads. Like, I specifically sell on Instagram, and then I have a Shopify website. But on my Instagram, you can tell what I'm all about. You can tell who my girl is. You can look at the tag pictures and kind of get an idea of who I sell to, because I have my girl in mind. So have your person, whoever you're trying to sell to, have them in mind, have their details in mind down to the T. What kind of music do they listen to? How do they dress? What stores do they shop to? What kind of shows? How do they talk? Like, so like that is the kind of things that you want to have in mind before you even get started. What's their style like? You know, what type of celebrities do they follow? Like, who's their like inspiration? That's what those are the things that you want to nail down before you even get started. Facebook, Instagram ads, or Instagram food, which works best for the jewelry business? So I run Facebook ads funnel into Instagram ads. I do use Instagram influencers. I personally sell my jewelry more than influencers do, but it's worth a try. Like, you should try a little bit of everything. I think different things work for different people. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Are you currently operating as an LLC sole proprietorship? If not, when do you think is a good time to file to ensure you're protected? So I actually just filed, what, in June for an LLC. I was a sole proprietor beforehand. My personal advice is, before you spend that $300 to get your LLC, make sure your jewelry business is profitable. Some people file that LLC first and then they make no sales. Test your idea out before you even file for the LLC, because like that $300 could be good. It could be used for so many other things. So yeah, so I waited maybe about 8 months before I filed for my LLC, and nothing's really changed, honestly. So let's see, what else do we have? Um, so do I use Pinterest for advertising? My marketing agency is setting up Pinterest for for advertising. So I don't have any experience on that. I'll let you guys know how that goes. But Pinterest is a lane that he does says works. So that's a great question. He says it works. I've never done Pinterest, but it might be a good way to bring in customers. How do you go about completing orders when you're out of town? Do you let your customers know in advance? Yes. So if I'm out of town for maybe over a week, I let them know. So I'll say, hey guys, today's the last day to place orders. I'm going out of town. Shipping will resume whenever. And typically people will do their last minute shopping, or they'll just wait until you get back. But transparency is the best policy. So I always let them know. Let's see, how many boxes, packaging you have bought at first in the beginning? So 100. But so but now, like, okay, so hold on, let me take you guys. Now I buy everything in bulk. So now I have boxes. I bought an order of 200. You can kind of see that I'm kind of going through them very quickly. Now I've started buying these in, give me 1 second, in orders. Oh, actually, so excuse my mess. These, the more you buy, I bought these off of Alibaba. The more you buy, the less expensive it is. So I've started buying those in packs of 300, and it's actually a lot cheaper to buy 300 than it is to buy 100. Buying bulk will save you money, and you'll use it eventually. So I think the first time you should probably buy 100, but don't buy 100 next time. Just buy more, because you get better pricing for when you buy more of packaging. Hi. Okay, yeah, I'll save the live stream for you guys. All right. Yes, please list your questions. I am here until it's time to go to the gym. So I'm excited. All right. Okay, so let's actually go through revenue and changes that I've made. So let me go through. Yeah, so I actually requested 14 karat gold. Like, so some rings I'll actually get in 18 karat gold, like their stock jewelry. I'll get in 18 karat gold. So like, I was just testing out this like herringbone necklace, right? And their stock is 18 karat gold. My customers love 14 karat gold though. So I request everything 14 karat gold. But this is 18. But yes, I do request 14. But this was just a stock piece, you know, one of those quick ship things. I mean, my customers still bought this, like this sold out, but I just feel like 14 karat gold of stainless steel goes with more skin tones. That's why I love it. But yeah, I did request that. And sometimes they'll make you order 100 to get it customized to 14, but I just get the 100. Let's see. How often do you recommend posting IG stories or regular posts? So that's something that you kind of have to figure out on your own. So I don't post on my page, but maybe like once or twice a week. But I post on my stories every day. And I get a lot of engagement on my stories every day. So like I've seen that like I'll get like between 3 to like 700 story views, which is crazy. But I get a lot of engagement on my stories, and so I'll post on my stories more. So the thing about the Instagram algorithm is you want to make sure people are commenting, because that's what Instagram considers as engagement. Not just a like, but make sure that you're writing captions where people can comment. Or if you do like an Instagram story, I do a lot of polls, I do a lot of questions. I try to get my followers engaged, because when Instagram sees that the followers are engaged, they put your stories to the front, or they'll put your post to the top. So figure out what works for your business. If you can commit to doing Instagram stories every day, do Instagram stories every day. I can't commit to posting on my regular page. I don't know why, but I'm just like, ugh, like I don't like it. Or it's not that I don't like it. I'm just not as good at like posting pictures. But you guys know me, I can talk all day long. So stories is what works for me. So figure out what you can commit to, and then figure out a way to get your followers engaged, and then stick to that. And then Instagram, excuse me. And then Instagram, the algorithm will work with what's best for you. So just test both methods out, and then figure out what works best for you. I tried to order a ring sample from a vendor, and they were charging $80 for one ring. What do you do in that instance? So, I mean, that's about right. If you're designing a ring, and they charged you $80, that sounds about right. But if it's like, where am I? So let me see, like, so this was a stock product, and if you just wanted one of these, I mean, I would never order just one, and unless it was a sample. Like if you are creating a product and they charge you $80 for the sample, what they're charging you is the mold fee. That's what they use to create your product. So that's right. But if they were just giving you a sample, that's usually like $5, and then it costs like $30 to ship. So I'm not exactly sure if you were asking for them to create you something. If you were asking for them to create you something, $80 sounds about right, because of a mold fee. But if you were just like ordering like something that they already had made and it was $80, that doesn't make any sense. Let's see. How many models and quantity of each model did you buy at the beginning? So when I first started my business, I started with one ring in 3 different quotes. And then I bought 100. Let's see. Have you increased the quantity you order, or do you order the same amount each time? Like, did you start? Oh God, girl, if you would, you'd probably like what I started with. I started with 100 rings. Now I order. Let's see. Let's go to one of my. Now I order. My last order was about $3,200, $3,200. So I ordered like almost 400 rings. I ordered 100 of these in different sizes. I ordered like 100 Cuban chains in different sizes. So I definitely have like 4x'd my orders. And then shipping, you know, I used to pay like $70 in shipping. I pay like $250 in shipping each time. And I normally order maybe every 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm like so I've kind of gotten it down like what my customers like, what my customers want. And then my rings are just selling out really fast. So I have to keep up with the demand. I just got my ring order in Saturday and I'm more than halfway sold out. So, and my other order doesn't even come in until the end of the month. So, I'm definitely doing way more than when I started. And that's another thing. That's another thing is I was noticing that I was selling out. So when I first came to you guys, what was it, a few months ago, I think I was making like at least $5,000 a month then. So it's October. So the past 2 months, I've made over 9,000 each month. And that's with me selling out of inventory. Like I'd get one big batch of inventory and then I was selling out. So I knew that I could make more money if I had more inventory. So now that I'm getting more inventory, it allows me to make more money each month. So that's kind of how, and then like I sell the necklaces. So like my rings are my best sellers. My rings are what sells. But then I have like chains and earrings and like, you know, different accessories to go on top of my ring orders. So for one, you want to make sure you get your what is it called? Your values up. I can't think of the name of what it's called. What is that word called? Your purchase values. You want to get your purchase values up. So my rings are $26, but if they add this is 32, right? So you want them to add more stuff to their cart. So I was like, okay, well, what kind of things are selling? My chains sell really well, right? So they get a ring and then they get a chain. So you kind of just want to like play with it. Like earrings, people request it, but they don't buy it. I'm done with earrings. But the chains, they buy it. So you want to make sure that you are selling stuff to get your purchase values up. So that's kind of been my method to get to 10,000 is to make sure I have the stuff in stock, but to also make sure I have items that my customers would like to get my purchase values up. Let's see. Do I always order samples? I don't know if you watched the vlog that I did, but I had only ordered 10 necklaces, so I wasn't really that upset. But if I'm not ordering samples, if it's a pre-made product, I don't order a lot. So I ordered a chain, and then I don't know if you guys saw, but I put the chain on, and that joker was tight. So I was like, okay, well, that's all right because I only ordered 10. So I will never place an order for 100 and have not tried the sample. Let's see. I should have mentioned in my last question that the ring they were charging 80 for was on their catalog. It wasn't being customized, but the rep said it wasn't in stock. No. Do not pay. Well, actually, what kind of material was the ring? But $80. Was it sterling silver? Was it like solid golds? Like there should never be anything on Alibaba for freaking $80. Unless they are unless you designed it, because a mold fee will be $80. But if it's their design, then it shouldn't be that expensive. That doesn't sound right at all. She called it pissy gold with the yellow golds. Like that's the worst. What's the difference between sterling 925 and stainless steel? Which one is better? Please, more about different metals. I talk about the different metals in my book. But stainless steel basically is water resistant. It is durable. It is just a reliable metal, base metal. Sterling silver is more so a precious metal. It's a softer metal. When it hits the air, it oxidizes. You have to care for it a little bit more. Me personally, I love stainless because you really don't have to do anything. But if you are using 925 sterling silver, you can mark up your prices a little bit more. So it's mainly just a preference. Stainless or sterling silver is a very soft metal. For me personally, like a lot of people really were attracted to my brand in the summertime because they didn't want to take off their stuff and go to the pool. So you could never wear sterling silver in chlorine, but stainless steel, people were hopping in the pool this summer with my jewelry. I would always post my neighbors, like my followers liked those kind of things. Like I would always see my neighbors in my jewelry in the pool. And then they were recommending my jewelry to other people because they're like, oh yeah, I never take this off, blah, blah, blah. Like, so so stainless steel has that great selling point. And when you're selling to people, you want to sell them the benefits and not the features. So the benefits of this, it's water resistant. You don't have to take it off. It will never tarnish on you. Sterling silver, you're like, hey guys, it's like dainty. You have to take care of it. You have to put it in a pouch so it doesn't oxidize. So there's like benefits to it. But me personally, I love stainless steel, but I don't know who you're marketing to. So you have to figure out which one's best for your customer. Let's see. Selling earrings and silver jewelry that people beg you to include. People don't buy silver. Like, y'all want to see something? Oh my God, it makes me so mad. I did a poll. I said, hey guys, just my stuff is just full of silver. Like, no one buys silver. And it just frustrates me to no end. So I'm like, y'all, I'm not including silver anymore until y'all buy the silver that I just restocked. I'm like, I hate when my jewelry sits, and silver just does not sell like gold. It doesn't, like, I sell out of gold and silver just sits, and it is a waste of money. Silver is just not in right now. Mixed metals though is in, but silver is just not in. Let's see. Let's see. I tried to order a stainless steel ring sample and it was 50 and 30 for shipping. And then, so yeah, that's normal. $30 for shipping. A small order is normal. You guys just have to be aware, like, the more items you buy, the more expensive shipping's gonna get. Like, so if y'all think 30, I just told y'all I'm spending like $250, $300 in shipping at this point. So just get used to paying for shipping. It's gonna continue to go up. So um, let's see. Oh, thank you, being Brit. That's so sweet. Um, Thank you. Yes, a nasty gold. I hate it. I asked one vendor for 14 karat and they still sent me that nasty yellow gold. Yeah. I don't understand that either. Do you have a method to your markup? I listened to a podcast where she said she takes a price of good and automatically marks it up 300%. To be completely honest, I'm in the market at a very low cost. And what I'm noticing, like my quality is just as good as some of these other brands, right? But what I'm noticing is they have marked up their stuff effectively to run a business effectively. So my business, as I am growing, my quality and my prices don't match. Like my dad seriously gets upset with me. He's like, you can mark this up. And I'm like, but no, I love my followers. He's like, you're not going to be able to sustain a business if you do not mark it up. So right now, me paying for the marketing agency that I'm working with it's tight because my products are not marked to its worth. If you start if your quality is there, do not sell yourself short. If you feel that you would need to mark your stuff up 300% to maintain your business, do it. That is one of the mistakes that I made, but I don't regret it because the emails that I get about so this is why I do what I do anyway. And this is why I'm okay with it. There was this one lady, she just got divorced and she purchased my God is with you ring. And she told me that she took her wedding ring off and she put the God is with me ring on her wedding finger because she is now a single woman who most times is lonely, but the meaning behind it like encourages her. I can't mark up, like y'all can't be sending me stories and then be like, oh, I need to mark up my product. No, like so I guess my mission is bigger than the money kind of thing. Um, but that's for me personally. I don't know, like I just want everyone to have a ring. So my vision and my purpose is kind of bigger than the financial aspect. But if someone is saying that you should mark it up 300%, I can totally see that. Like so it's time for me to hire someone, like hire an assistant. I feel like if my prices were marked up, I would just like automatically just do it. But I mean, my products are very inexpensive, so I need to sell a little bit more for me to be comfortable to like bring someone on full time to help me. And the only reason I say that is because if I bring on help to help me full time, like I feel like my or their finances are now in my hands. So I really want to make sure that I have more money like steadily before I hire someone. But yeah, pricing is very important. I always say, me personally, I mark up at least 3 to 4 times. Um, and yeah, that's all I have to say on that. But pricing is very important. Do not sell yourself short because as you continue to grow, you will need that money. So, all right, let's see. Uh, the ring is stainless steel with gold plating and some cubic zirconia, but not a lot. The rep said because the ring isn't in stock, it'll cost $80 for the production time. And that was for one ring? That's crazy. That is crazy. How you gonna charge me for your design? No. Mm-mm. Uh, I have thought about men's. I get men's requests all the time. Um, I Oh, you started. You included it last month in the men. Yes, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I get a lot of requests for men's. I just haven't. I haven't done it. Etsy has really good US vendors with free shipping. So, Etsy, I've bought a few gold filled chains on Etsy. Um, yeah, yeah, I've bought a few gold filled chains from Etsy, but I don't know. It wasn't something that I would do in bulk. But I mean, if it works for you though, I mean, everybody has different um needs and everything. I don't know about that one though. Do you think it's worth signing up for a business bank account? PayPal? Yes. It is always easier when your finances are separate. Um Oh, you have two of my rings. Same brand sells similar products that have 30 times price. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, that makes me so happy. Yeah. I mean, I could mark it up, but I don't feel the need to. Um, so, I sampled a chain from Etsy and it literally came in 2 days. It was so soft and bitty. Yeah. So I don't. So sterling silver, I don't. It's a more precious metal. It's just not the metal for me. I don't know. I don't like sterling silver. I actually, but these sterling silver though is really good with like cubic zirconia pieces. So this is a Huggy and this is sterling silver. And my vendor is actually really good with this kind of stuff. But sterling silver is a very soft, precious metal. So I don't buy, if I'm doing a lot of cubic zirconia stuff, I do get it done in sterling silver. But other than that, I don't really sell sterling silver. I sell uh, stainless steel. If you hand make jewelry, Etsy is great. Yeah, okay, that's what I was trying to say. But for bulk, it's yeah. Because like so you'll see the prices. So I buy things by the hundreds. And Etsy, like I've bought chains, but then I'd have to put on the lobster class and then put on the put on the logo tag. So like it's okay for like building jewelry, but I need things already done because it's just me. It would take me forever to do the amount of volume and use Etsy vendors. But I have bought gold full chains that were like very pretty, but they were not finished. And it was like $8 by the foot, I guess. So that's just a lot. Um, and it's a lot. It's more time consuming. Um, so weird because brands like Tiffany's use sterling silver and mark it up so high when it's just not. I told y'all the story of when me and my boyfriend went to Macy's and we were looking at wedding rings. I don't know if you've seen that. It was $2,000. The ring was gorgeous. Then the big stone in the middle. She was like, okay, so the ones on the outside, she's like, those are diamonds, but the center stone, that's cubic zirconia. Lady, you're about to sell me a $2,000 ring with a cubic zirconia center? No. No. Especially, I don't know. I just got these. These are my new Eternity rings. These are sterling silver, and these are the cost was a little bit more, but these things are just so pretty, and it looked just like this band and she tried to sell it to me for $2,000. I was like, no, that's not happening. So, but yes, they will mark up some jewelry. But jewelry is one of those businesses that you can mark up, because if you look at it, like a lot of these jewelers, um before like Instagram and selling online, jewelry was like that family owned business. And so not many people were into jewelry. So not many people knew what it takes to make it. So they mark it up so high. But now it's kind of accessible for everyone to have jewelry businesses. And so you can definitely find, you can find what you're looking for and still get great quality. But yeah, jewelry is one of those things that's just really easy to mark up. Let's see. Do you think having small home based business insurance is worthwhile, or is that not necessarily when you are an LLC? Also, did you register for a reseller's or for a seller's permit? Okay, so small. It's just me. I can't sue myself. I'm small based business, home based business insurance. So like if something were to happen in my like, I guess if there's like so I'm going to be honest, I don't know too much about insurance. I might need to look into that. Or is it necessary, not necessary when you are an LLC? So people to like, I don't know. I don't know. I've never considered it. For one, all of my jewelry is hypoallergenic, so no one's gonna come after me for like any allergic reactions. I'm just trying to think of like all the scenarios of why I would need insurance. My jewelry is hypoallergenic. I guess I could protect my own business. I don't know. What are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking that you would need insurance for? I've never thought of it. So I'm probably not the best person to ask about that. Um, so I have registered for a seller's permit. In the state of Texas, I don't really need it, but if I was to ever go to like LA and try to get something in bulk, they ask for a seller's permit number. So I have it just in case. But here I am a year in, I've never needed it. Um, I don't know. I've never thought about the business-based insurance question. I've never thought of that one. Do you file taxes monthly? After completing my paperwork, it told me I have to file monthly regardless if I have sales. I was shocked. I actually filed yearly. Um, so I paid last year's, but I had also started in November. This year, so I have what is it? TurboTax Entrepreneur. So it kind of has told me each quarter how much I owe. My dad does my taxes. I don't I probably should file quarterly at least. Um, but I'll probably end up filing for the year next year. Taxes is not my strong point. But TurboTax, it kind of breaks it down quarterly to how much I owe. So I kind of have an idea of how much I'll owe when we go to file for next year. So, and I'll just pay it all at once. But I am going to start filing quarterly next year because my tax amount is it's starting to increase. So I'll probably owe like $3,000 to $4,000 in taxes next year because it's starting to climb up there with the income that I'm making now. So, but I don't think you're supposed to file monthly. I know for a fact that you can file quarterly. Do you utilize a social media content planner like Planoly for your IG posts? Girl, I wake up and I say, "Ooh, let me tell the people." Okay, so one thing y'all need to know about me is I'm a creative. I am not an entrepreneur. So my life is not structured at all. I do a lot of things based off of being inspired. And so that's why I hired the marketing agency to take on tasks that I'm not good at. They tell me they looked through my Shopify, they looked through everything that I've been doing at the moment, and they were like, you need to implement this, you need to implement that. And that's working for me. I do not use Planoly. I talk about my day. I go through inventory. I show people what I'm working on. I give my followers a lot of the behind the scenes of what I'm currently doing, currently working on, and that just works for me. So I've never needed to like plan social media content because I just document my day and document what I think about adding, what I think about jewelry. I ask them what they're interested in. So that's kind of my social media plan. And it works for me. So if you make jewelry, you should just keep your camera going and maybe time lapse it. That's content. People love behind the scenes. They kind of want to know who the person is behind their purchase, and it works. So I would try it. I don't really plan, but that's kind of my strategy for social media. Um, Can someone run a web business without a business certificate and just pay the state taxes? Yeah, so that's what I did last year. I didn't have an LLC last year. And we just filed, I've filed as a sole proprietor. I filed additional income basically. So the income that I got from the business, I filed that. Or I claimed that. And then get QuickBooks Entrepreneur, or no, QuickBooks Self-Employed, because that will find every single like, so you claim, like, so you hook it up to your bank account, and then you just swipe like, oh, here's income, here's income, here's income. Oh, this is a Staples. I use shipping materials, and then like it asks like about monthly, how much do you pay in electricity, and it kind of gives you an average. And then I type in that it takes me 10 miles to go back and forth to the post office. So like everything is just there, and it is so easy. Then I export it, then I send it to my dad. My dad does my taxes, and then he sends it back to me. He's like, here's how much you owe, and then that's it. So that's kind of how I do. So I just now got my LLC. So you can file the income as a sole proprietor, and then once you start making money, then you can file as an LLC. And so wouldn't worry about it too much. It's a very easy process. What tools do you use for marketing? I use Facebook ads and influencers. I want to sell tennis necklace bracelets, but it only looks good in silver, and gold always sells faster. Um, it only looks good in silver to me. Girl, but you're not your customer. Sell both, because honestly, like, silver might look better to you. But some people like gold. Like my gold eternity rings, they sell out, even though I think the silver looks best. So kind of sell both, and then you just keep buying whatever your customers buy. So sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes it's about what sells. And if gold sells, then gold sells. If silver sells, silver sells. So kind of just get both, and then see which one works best, and then go from there. Let's see. Business insurance if your inventory is at home and something happens, break in or fire. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. It makes sense. I already pay so much in insurance. Oh, I don't know if I told y'all, and it was on my and it was on my Instagram story. But 4th of July, people were like drunk shooting fireworks off of the top of our building. So I live in downtown Dallas, and the summertime, it looks like a scene from Vegas. But they were shooting fireworks off of the roof of my apartment, and then some idiot put the fireworks down the trash chute. So then it was like maybe like 1 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of July, and the fire alarms were going off, but I was sleeping through it. And so my neighbor was like, Monique, the building's on fire. You gotta come out now. When I tell y'all, I got every single suitcase in my apartment. I packed up this whole jewelry thing right here. And then I went downstairs, and everybody looked at me like I was crazy. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I got my jewelry out of there, and then I came downstairs. But that does make sense. I mean, if something were to happen, I do have a lot of inventory. So having insurance would be better than me trying to like die in a fire from packing up all of my jewelry. So that makes sense because it's definitely possible. Okay. Let's see. Do sales increase, decrease during a given season, say summer, winter, or others, or just all around? But no, it depends on your marketing. So, in the summertime, I sold crazy amount of anklets, and so you just market it for the summer. But since it's we're going into fall, I just buy more necklaces and I don't buy as many anklets because then I don't have to worry about them not selling. So you just have to know how to adjust to the seasons, but I don't really have slow peaks. I just have to make sure that I adjust to what is selling. So like my necklaces did really well in the summer, anklets did really well in the summer. But dainty like necklaces aren't going to really do well in the winter because it's like, you want to have like pieces that stand out like over sweaters and sweatshirts and stuff. So it's just the way you market it. And I don't buy as many anklets in the winter. So yeah, it's just the way you market it. Let's see. How do you keep track of promo codes if you have them on thank you cards, etc.? How do you ensure that people aren't sharing them out, or does that not phase you? Yes, that doesn't phase me. If your product is marked up already, then you giving out a promo code should not really affect you. A promo code, like if they share, like people have shared my promo codes, and it doesn't really, like, my influence have their own promo codes. So like I don't keep my 30% off promo codes live, only when I'm doing special sales. But my 15-20% promo codes, that's okay with me because my product is already marked up. So like you should never be afraid to give someone a discount because you feel like you're going to lose out on money. And your promo code should never put your product so low that you're not really making a profit. So hi, I have a question. So once you get your EIN number, do you need to file your business on your taxes? I don't have a seller's permit yet. I live in Mississippi. Some states don't even need seller's permits. I don't need a seller's permit in Texas. Yes. So hold on. What was your question? Let me just make sure. I think I had the gist of it. So once you get your EIN number, do you need to file your business on your taxes? Yes. That's a yes. I don't have a seller's permit. I live in Mississippi. You don't need one. The only time you'll really need a seller's permit, from what I've seen, is if you want to buy something in like LA, or if you're buying jewelry from like Fashion Go. Like people who sell clothes, they need a seller's permit, like to get clothes. Like jewelry, you just don't need it. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. You don't need a seller's permit to be successful in jewelry. I need a sales tax permit in Illinois. Yeah, so some states require that, but depending on where you live, um, a seller's permit is not required. So you kind of have to look up your state for the seller's permit. Yeah, I don't know about Mississippi, but I know that if you're buying stuff from California, you are required to have one. And then make sure you are charging tax for your customers too. All right, are there any more questions? Dang, we're at 60 minutes already. That went by so fast. Zero, so I'm still in the process of launching. Okay. Well, if you're in the process, take your time, figure out who your customer is. I'm over earrings for now. Do you think bracelets are a good seller in your experience? I sell cuffs. My cuffs do well. Chain bracelets do well. Because the cute thing right now is stacking. So stacking is like, so when you guys are posting your pictures on Instagram, giving people ideas of how you stack your bracelets, like that's cute. That's working. So you should try it. I mean, I think everyone should always try to see what works for them. Do you order boxes from Alibaba? I order pouches from Alibaba. I just think that shipping, actually, but my marketing people said that they had a box vendor that they were going to give me. So I'm currently not shipping boxes from Alibaba, but now that I'm ordering larger bulk, it might be cheaper. So I'll look into it, but no, I'm not shipping boxes from them. I have my pouches from Alibaba though, and those have been working great. These pouches with my logo on it. Oh, I also wanted to talk to you guys about branding. One thing about having good branding is that people are excited to share. So even if it's something as simple, like you want to keep your fonts the same. Right now, the style is like a handwriting font. So just a little bit of handwriting. And then this is a really inexpensive way. So I got these pouches from Amazon. And then I put my jewelry care card in it, and then this, and just like simple branding and just like a complete look. Definitely give your customers a reason to share your stuff. And when their packaging just looks nice, they feel the quality, and it's like a excellence type of feel. They're way more willing to share your stuff. So make sure you keep that in mind too. When pricing your pieces, do you keep your customers in mind? I sell 925 sterling silver, 18 karat vermeil, and I'm scared to price too high. Do not be scared to price too high, because I think of me. I don't price high and I'm paying for it now. So you need to price what it's worth. But with pricing what it's worth, your packaging better be on point, your customer service better be on point. Everything needs to follow your price point. So you don't want to just get generic packaging from like Amazon and then call it a day. If someone's going to be willing to pay that price point, you need to have the best of the best. So you price it where it's supposed to be, but make sure that your branding and everything follows suit. Do you think it's a smart idea to buy from vendors from LA Fashion District? So I've never been. I kind of wanted to check it out. Um, but some of those vendors are not, they're buying it from um elsewhere too. So I think like some of them they make their own jewelry in shop, but then a lot of the places in the jewelry district are purchasing it from other vendors. So then you're kind of paying for that middleman, but then you're also getting products that you don't really see. So I haven't checked it out. And that's the only reason why I got my seller's permit, is because if I go to the jewelry district in LA and I wanted to buy in bulk, I would have that number just in case. But I don't need it in Texas, but I do need it in LA. So if I go to the jewelry district, I will definitely vlog it if I can. I've seen some people like they kick you out and they tell you to turn your camera off. But that's the only reason why I got the seller's permit, is because I plan on going to LA and kind of seeing what the jewelry district has. But what I'm doing works for me right now, but I don't know. We'll see. When purchasing from wholesale like Alibaba, is it okay to take the pieces and put your own name brand? Put in your own name brand? Yeah, like where is the ring? So like this is a signet ring, right? And tons of people sell the signet ring. But if I wanted to, I could probably put my logo right here, just to give it, like another piece of like customization. But yeah, I don't see why not. Everyone, everyone does it. So you can definitely brand your stuff from Alibaba. Um, and it actually adds like a nice touch. Do you see yourself ever working with the US based jewelry manufacturer? I did. When that girl stole my stuff, I said no more. But I found an alternative route, working with the representatives over in China to for them to build relationships with my manufacturer, so that that doesn't happen again. So when all of that went down, I was thinking about it, but I'm a small business too, so I have to kind of think about my bottom line. If I do work with a US based jewelry business, I would definitely have to raise my prices. So it's kind of like what's more like, so like I can buy more product in bulk working overseas than working with a US based business, because yeah, I mean, they have to live too, like here in the US. So like they're gonna charge me more. And if they charge me more, then I have to charge my customers more. So that's the only, sorry guys, I ordered groceries and they're telling me they don't have Gushers. I'm gonna have to get off in a second. I need Gushers. Okay. Um, but I mean, I would love to work with a US based company, but I think I would have to charge more if I did. Um, she refunded me for Gushers. Dang it. Never mind. Let's see. When you started, did you have to buy samples or did you get it for free? When I started, I had to pay for samples, and it was typically the $80-$90 amount, because I was coming to them with my own designs. So I spent a lot of money in samples. I spent maybe like $1,500 in samples. But it ended up paying off. So if you take the time and you put the pride, or you take pride in what you're doing, it'll return, as long as you get it out and just like keep working at it, keep building. It'll pay off. um did you get sales on your first day when you launched your website? I did get sales my first day. I got one. And then I launched an Instagram ad, and then I started to get a lot more sales. Let's see. Currently looking into an online jewelry business. How much do you think your estimate cost was when you got started? I'm so nervous, scared to get it going. Um, yeah, I think altogether it was like the span of 8 months though that I prepared for it to launch my jewelry business, and I spent about 1,500 from the samples to ordering my first batch of inventory. It was about 1,500. And then another thing about being scared, like I don't know. I don't really get scared. So this is my approach to life, right? So I don't ever really like, I don't know how to say this. My I don't get scared because like in my mind I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. Okay. You keep it moving. I'm glad that fear doesn't stop me from doing what I want to do. When So I knew that I was supposed to have a product-based business. I wrote a planner, a journal. It was the best thing ever. That thing flopped like no other. I tried to do a Kickstarter to get money because to start my planner business was going to be like $6,000. So I did a Kickstarter to get what, like $10,000. My planner, everyone saw it. They were like, oh, this is gorgeous. It was like, I can't even explain it. It looked like a little purse, honestly. Like it was like leather, it was like a little flap. It had like gold metal. Like it was just pretty. And that thing flopped. It flopped so bad. I think I raised like $800. And I grieved the loss of my planner for maybe about a month. I went on vacation. I said, God, I know I'm supposed to have a business. What do I do? And then one day, I was looking at this woman's band, and I was like, ooh, that'd be so cool if I could put like my inspiration, because my planner was supposed to be inspirational. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put the messages from the planner on rings because I loved her band. So I started like asking people to make like bands like this. Well, first I asked for cuffs. I didn't really like what they were giving me as far as cuffs. Then I settled on a ring. And when I got this, I gave it to my sister, my two cousins, and my graphic designer. They posted it on their social media, and that's how I got my first sales. So like I'm not really scared to try new things because the worst that can happen is someone doesn't like it. And that's fine. But I mean, that fear never stops me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever like don't not do something because I'm scared. And I'm not one to live with like what ifs. Like, so, oh, my planner failed last time. So what if my jewelry fails this time? No, my planner failed last time, but my jewelry business is now making like, $9,000 a month. Like that's additional income. So I'm never one to be like, I'm scared. You never know what's going to happen. So like that should never stop you from doing anything. And then also, I think I'm kind of used to rejection anyway. I was a professional dancer. You know how many people told me no, like, oh, she's too fat. Her legs are thick. Like, oh, we already have two other dark skinned girls. Like, but then like there's the other teams that are like, you're perfect. So it's like some people aren't going to like all your ideas, and that doesn't need to stop you from not doing something because you're scared. So I would never let fear be a factor of why you don't get started. And then another thing is like the planner like flopped, but then I got started on my rings. And what sustained me during quarantine? This jewelry business. Like I have this is my apartment in Texas, but I have a house down in Northern Virginia. My tenants, if you would have told me that they wouldn't be able to pay like in February, I would have cried. The pandemic came and the husband's the only one that's working, and he was late on his rent, which would have made me late on my mortgage. I didn't have to stress out because I had money from this business to pay my mortgage in Virginia, pay my rent here in Texas. So like little things like if and I told this to somebody else, if God told you to start last year, but you're over there procrastinating, but it was supposed to be your sustainment for this season, that's on you because he told you to get ready already. And then, you're over here procrastinating because you're scared. He's not gonna, sorry, I'm a whole preacher when I want to be. So let me just get off of that topic. But the point of the story, don't be scared to do anything. Do not fear man. Do not fear life itself. Like there's just no point. So sorry. Y'all, I can get on a tangent if you want me to. I can get on a whole tangent if you want me to. Okay. Let's see. Is selling just stainless steel worth it to you? My customers had no clue what stainless steel jewelry is, but they love it now. Because they'll ask me, hey, is that one stainless steel? I'll be like, no, this is, and then I made that mistake. I was like, no, this is brass. They're like, we don't want it, sis. So like, stainless steel is becoming very popular. Okay, let's see. Then I'm gonna hop off. Let's see. So my samples were about $100 each, and it's an investment. I learned from my mistake. I ordered 50 pieces right away, and they were all, yeah. How do you determine how much money you want to make your first year of business? Did you kind of just wing it? Thank you for answering my queries and sharing your journey. Yeah, so now I have goals. So like, so I say, okay, Monique, I want to make $10,000. So I'm like, okay, how many rings? I know my rings sell out. So that's what I'm going to put the most money towards, right? So I'm going to buy as many rings as I can. And then I decide what types of, my customers love chains. So then I decide what kind of chains that I'll add for that month. And then I'll kind of price it together. Oh, they don't have my energy drink. Then I will, kind of estimate. And then that has allowed me to get to, I haven't quite hit my $10,000 goal. This month is going to be the month. I buy my rings because that sells out, and then I buy additional pieces, and I'm like, okay, so if I sell at least 75% of that, that will get me to $10,000. And that's been my strategy. Make sure you find out though, before, like when you first start out, you're kind of testing what your audience buys. So it's kind of hard to guesstimate then, but once you get going, you can kind of, create your financial goals based off of, what is normally selling. So that's kind of my strategy now. And my goals are month to month, and I don't really make goals for the year. But would you invest in gold plated based on the, so my stainless steel is gold plated. It's stainless steel 14 karat gold. There is a video where you mentioned shipping internationally. Canada, it was, have you done more international shippings and how to go about it? So I use Shopify, and that, and I have shipped to Canada, and recently I think I had a few packages to the UK, and it costs about $12. So if the customer is willing to pay $11 to $12, Shopify will just create the label. Oh, thank you. Would I consider Vermeil? What I'm working with works. So because it works, I've never considered switching. It's working for me right now. It's working well. So, all right, guys. The lady shopping for my groceries is asking a lot of questions. So I'm gonna cut it off here. I might do a check-in next week, but if you guys have any questions about getting started, my ebook is available. I am still doing calls, not as many, but if you guys need help, you can also place a clarity call or a marketing strategy call, and I can help you. So yes, thanks. So yeah, let me see. I'll kind of show you guys what I've been up to. Okay, so here, let me turn this around. So let's see. August 1st to August 31st. What was that? Okay. Yeah. So I almost hit 9,000 August 1st to August 31st. Let's go to September. September 1st to September 30th. I hit 9,300. And now we're in October. So my strategy for those months was just the rings are selling out, buy more rings. And bought more rings, got a lot of necklaces and anklets, and that was kind of my strategy, was to just to keep selling what works, and my rings sell. So I'm gonna get to 10,000, hopefully, fingers crossed. But that's kind of been, yeah, it just takes persistence, and you just got to keep going. And yeah, that's about it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.